Our friends at Ethos were kind enough to send me their EZPZ Ceramic Coating, which is supposed to be a very DIY friendly, very simple to use, I guess it's in the name, but high grade ceramic coating. It's supposed to provide 3 years of protection and all the qualities you come to expect from some of the big boys in the coating world. Now, I'm very curious about this. In the past, we've had some awesome results from Ethos coatings and other products. So we're going to put this through the full gauntlet. It's going to get the durability testing, slickness, ease of application, contact angle, everything that we do, and by the end of the video, we'll know if this is a product worth spending your money on. Let's start off by applying the EZPZ. You're going to shake the coating up, and this coating has a very simple process to applying it. It's the same as every coating out there, essentially. You're going to put it on top of the applicator, and then you're going to spread it around. And what we'll be judging is how easy that is. And then as you spread it, it should begin to have a rainbow appearance. Ethos in their instructions say you should wait approximately 5 minutes for the rainbow to actually subside. And the big thing we're looking for here is how easy it is to spread the coating, as well as how easy it'll be to pick it up. Now, for every test, I prepped this hood with Meguiar's 205, as well as an IPA and APC decontamination. That gives us a blank slate. The product really does spread around quite easily. You can crosshatch it in, you can swirl it in. I really think it's personal preference. Sometimes some products are better when they're buffed in. Some products glide better getting crosshatched. You really just want to make sure you don't leave gaps. It seems to be flashing well. Now they say to pick this up after the rainbow is done. And maybe this is the subtle difference here. Some products will tell you to wait for beads that are kind of sweating on top. Others tell you to clean up when you see the rainbow. And the rainbow appearance here, I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but I mean, it looks like an oil slick on top of this thing. And normally that would be my cue to start wiping it up, but they say to wait 5 minutes for that to start to disappear. We are right at 5 minutes, and I would say the panel has changed a lot. I still see a little bit of rainbow, but most of it's disappeared, and I think there's just a few thicker spots where more of the coating went on. And I don't want to wait too long and get like a high spot, so I think right at 5 minutes, let's go ahead and give it a shot. Oh, and that's coming off very easily. The performance of this product is going to be rated between a positive 10 and a negative 10. A positive 10 is going to mean the product is super easy to use, even for a beginner. And then a negative 10 would be a very difficult product needing specialty tools and professional expertise. Very simple. I love the easy pickup. You do want to, go over a couple of times, make sure you've gotten it all. This product does deserve a 10. Couldn't really imagine how to make a ceramic coating application any simpler. This is my optical contact angle meter, and it's time to find out just how hydrophobic the Ethos EZPZ coating is. Now, if you're curious about this test, I'll link a video up here in your top corner. You can take a look at that. That's when I first introduced the test. You can learn about the science. But essentially, we're going to put a 3 microliter drop of water on the surface of this pre-manufactured test panel that's already had the EZPZ cured on it properly. And then we're going to take a snapshot of that and use some software to figure out the contact angles and average out 5 results. And here you can see screenshots from the ImageJ software that I use to calculate contact angles. In our case, we see that the Ethos EZPZ hit 104.4 degrees on average. It is almost top marks, almost as good as the Max product did, but not quite. Still very impressive contact angles, as you could see from these screenshots. Definitely a very hydrophobic product. I need just 1 second of your time to let you know that down below in the description is a link to the product we're looking at today, as well as a coupon code that'll give you a small savings. Now, anything you buy through the affiliate links in my description does generate a small commission for me that helps make videos like the one you're watching today. And of course, if you're enjoying this video and you like this kind of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you get notifications, and that way you'll catch future reviews. Let's get back to the testing. Now that we've had a chance to let the EZPZ cure on this panel, let's look at its visual qualities and figure out, is it a pretty product? Now, visual appeal is super subjective, and really I just pretty much rate it as a 10 to -10, where a positive 10 is some of the prettiest products, 0 is kind of neutral, means it didn't really change much, and a -10 would be some significant defect where it made things look a lot worse. We're also going to average this against a black test panel. I'll show you that in 1 second. Now here you can see I've put a blue marker on the panel, and the product is currently on the left side of the marker. And here's another angle where the product is now on the right side of the marker. And overall, I have to say, it's going to be very hard for you to see it in the video because it is really hard for me to see it with my eye. It is not a very pronounced or striking product on the red. I kind of have to give it a neutral score. Essentially, it's going to get a 0 in this test. It's not that it's bad or anything, it just doesn't seem to do much on the red. And here is our black test panel, and we've got the Ethos EZPZ on the right here. It's already fully cured. Now in the middle here we have a control strip with nothing applied. On the left is a different product that we're testing for a separate video. And taking a look at this, I'd say it's pretty easy to tell where the EZPZ is, and it certainly makes the panel look nicer. I would probably go with a 5. It's just not quite striking enough. Combined between this and the red panel, we're going to give it a 2.5 for the visual appeal score. Now it's time to test the Ethos EZPZ for specular reflection. Now specular reflection is basically just how shiny the panel is, how well the light hits it, comes back, gets reflected and picked up by the sensor in the gloss meter. Now we want to make sure the gloss meter is going to read 104 at 20 degrees. That tells us it's calibrated. And we're going to take 5 measurements on the panel here, average them, and then give it a score. We got 89 up here, 91.8, 88.9, 92.6, 91.3. Now we're going to take this total, we're going to divide it by 5, and we see on average we got 90.72 gloss units. That is a bump. In this case, the product, this Ethos EZPZ, is going to score 2.7 points, rounded down because we'll only go to the nearest 10th. Now it's time to work out just how slick the Ethos EZPZ is, and we'll do that by measuring the gram force required to move this block to get it rolling, and then work out the static coefficient of friction. So let's take 5 measurements and we'll average those out. 220 grams, 240 grams, 240 grams again, 220 grams, and our last final reading, 170 grams. Now let's divide that by 5 to average, and we can see it took an average of 218 grams to get the block rolling. The block does weigh 1,040 grams, which makes the math for the coefficient pretty simple. We divide by 1040, and we see that this product scored a 20.1 rounded up static coefficient of friction. And of course, durability is a huge deciding factor when picking out a product. Before starting the test, let's just spray our product with some water and see what kind of hydrophobicity we get before any scrub passes. The product is clearly performing well compared to the control strip in the middle. We are seeing it drain water really quickly. You don't see everything kind of stuck on there like that control. Let's put it through some scrubs and see what it looks like. I'm going to lock our test panel into the alcometer, and this machine is going to scrub these terry covered applicators in a predictable wear pattern at right about 30 RPM, and it's going to dispense shampoo as it goes along. Now the scoring, I'm going to show you that on the screen now, and it's going to go in buckets of 0, 10, 20, 50, 100, 300, and 1,000. Whenever the product fails, we look at where it failed and give it that amount of points. I'm going to dial in 10 washes and the machine will automatically stop. With 10 washes out of the way, does the Ethos EZPZ still work? Sure looks like it's working to me. Let's run it up to 20. After 20 washes, how's the EZPZ doing? Still working really well. Having put 50 washes on the EZPZ, let's take a look. It's working great. And now we're gonna go up to 100 washes. Can the Easy Peasy still hold out? It clearly can, no sign of defeat yet. Now we're at 300 washes. Let's take a look at the Ethos EZPZ and see if it's still working. Ooh, we are starting to see a little bit of a wear pattern, but it's still very small. And what's happening here is as the ceramic coating goes away, this becomes less and less hydrophobic. Eventually the pad starts to dig through it. And now we'll go to an absolutely gigantic 1,000 washes and see what we get. Is the Ethos EZPZ still working? Well, I'd say not. Now keep in mind, this is a brand new panel. This is the first test being done on it, and the paint is still incredibly smooth. Here we've already worn through a little bit of the clear coat because the coating went away and the pad was just abrading the clear coat. And that's why we're seeing that pool of water there, and I'll show you again. And to me, this did not make it to the 1,000 washes, but still incredibly impressive for that Easy Peasy, especially given how easy it is. With all the tests complete, let's talk about what I liked about the Easy Peasy coating, what could be improved, and whether or not this is something you should go out and buy. Now, the one thing that I definitely liked about this coating is that it lives up to its name. It is very easy to use, truly a DIY beginner-friendly product, absolutely deserving of the points it got. I think that it is something that anybody could pick up and start using if it's your first coating, but you're also going to get some of those professional results. So overall, I think it's meeting what it promises. It is easy, it is simple. Couldn't really come up with a way to make a coating application much simpler than this. And we also saw some pretty striking contact angles from this product. It's definitely very hydrophobic. Furthermore, we saw that in the durability. It held out to 300 washes really well, and then after that, it definitely deteriorated at some point between 300 and 1,000. We gave it that 300 rating, and that's a lot for a coating, especially one as easy to use as this. In terms of visual appeal, I do think it looked pretty good on the black. On the red, I didn't really think it was that amazing. It really just didn't seem to do a whole ton for the finish of the paint. But it didn't make it look bad. And different coatings, different products, they do look different on different color cars. Maybe it looks really great on blue or some other color. I can't test all of them, unfortunately. Red and black are kind of what I like and what I test on. But I do think if you have a black car, this will definitely look pretty darn good. Maybe darker colors in general, it might look really good on. Furthermore, Specular Reflection, I think the product did pretty well on right now. With the test changing, it's hard to say if we'll see bigger jumps from other products, but we definitely see that products like this can improve the specular reflection of surfaces now that we're using something that isn't quite as shiny as that bright red panel. You know, the black absorbing some of that light. So, kind of hard to say at the moment, but I think it did well. At least we didn't see any sort of reduction on that black base. And then I think as far as slickness, this is an area that could be improved. It did come in a little under average. I think there are definitely slicker products out there, but look, sometimes coatings aren't that slick. They are starting to get there. We're starting to see more and more coatings that are hitting all the parameters, but it's still not the majority of them. Most coatings have some area where they're just better at one thing than another. You can imagine it as one of those charts that has many points. I can't remember what it's called, but there's many points around the chart, and it sort of shows you the shifts to where the performance is for all those characteristics. And very few products have everything maxed out across those spokes. This is definitely strong in many areas, and it's just the slickness is not necessarily one of them. Maybe the visual appeal, not quite one of them, but very strong in everything else. Overall, I think given the price point, it's not a bad product for you to try out. I think you don't have to worry about a difficult application. So my final verdict is if you are new, if you're maybe wary of applying a coating, you think it'll be really difficult, this could be a great one to cut your teeth on, something that is simple to install. And even if you are a pro, I think it does come in at an attractive price point. It has some really good performance, and it's something you could consider. You might look at something like the Max, which is a bit more difficult to use, definitely beats it in certain areas, but you know, there are trade-offs in everything. You will lose some of that ease of application. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, ring the bell so you see more videos, and leave me a nice comment.